Hi, I'm Ruby, and today we're going to talk about my tattoos. How much they were, how much they hurt, and why I got them. Let's jump right in. The first tattoo I got was this Evenstar on my sternum. This is a Lord of the Rings reference. Your first tattoo is always kind of the scariest because you don't know how you're gonna like a permanent thing being on your body. Some people are born in this world knowing they want to be covered in tattoos, but a lot of people see it as a really big commitment because it is. It's for the most part very permanent. I looked at my life and I was like, if I'm going to get a tattoo, I want it to be something that there's no way I'm ever going to hate. And Lord of the Rings is something that's been a part of my life since early childhood. This story, I have such a love for the world. I went over a lot of tattoos in my mind, and I probably will still get more Tolkien tattoos, but this was the first one. When I went into the shop, they thought I was totally crazy. This 19-year-old girl coming in for her first tattoo, and I wanted it on my sternum, and they were like, wow, that's an interesting place to start, like one of the most painful places. So this tattoo was quoted at about $120. I ended up paying $100 for the tattoo, and I tipped $20 on top of that. It took about 45 minutes tops, and it was so painful. I laid down on a little table, and they had a sheet over it that they changed between each person, and all I could do was stare at the ceiling and try not to move my body. It hurt so much, but I didn't want to make any jerking motions. Even controlling my breathing was so important because when you breathe, your chest moves. So it hurt a lot. All I could do was kind of stare at the ceiling and just focus on not moving my body. And that was the only thing I could do to distract myself from the pain. And 40 minutes was endured, and I came out with this. When I got off of the table, when I sat up, there was like an outline of sweat in the shape of a human body because of the amount of pain. The body's response is like to create adrenaline, to get you out of this painful situation, right? So I was just laying there with all this adrenaline. My heart was racing. I could feel the pounding of the needle on my chest. Yeah, it hurt definitely a lot. Out of my tattoos, this one's probably going to be the 10 out of 10 forever. I was like, well, I'll get the most painful place out of the way first, and then all of my other tattoos will be a breeze from here. And so far, that has definitely been the truth. I will say that I think my sternum was bruised a little bit from this tattoo, so even after my tattoo had completely healed, had a few months of sternum pain, just when I did like selective movements, and I sleep at night really hunched, and that really hurt. So there was a healing process that came because I think my bone had been a little bruised, but it is 100% healed now. I think it's totally worth it. I'll definitely get this tattoo touched up in the future, even though I know it will hurt a lot. The second tattoo I got was a year later by the same tattoo shop, a different artist. I went back a year later and I got this set on my shins. I have the cat and the moon. I wanted to get some more tattoos, and I had this pair of tights that had little cat faces, just like ears, eyes, whiskers, mouth. Not even an outline, just that on both of your knees, like cats on your knees. And I thought it was so cute. When I put them on, they ended up being right under my knees, the cats. And I was like, cats under my knees is so cute. Like, what if I just got that tattooed? So I started brainstorming, and I didn't want them to be symmetrical and be the same tattoo twice. So once again, I was thinking, what am I never going to stop loving my whole life? And cats is definitely one of the answers. And the other answer ended up being the moon. It's just been a constant in my life. How can you not love the moon? What am I even saying? The moon, okay. So I was quoted for these. I think I paid $160 for both of them. My artist did a stippling kind of shading, and the star under the moon actually we added afterwards. We just thought it was cute. And the star in the moon is the same star in the cat's eyes. So it's like the cat is looking at the star and it's twinkling in the cat's eyes, and it's cute. So they like, you know, it's obvious they're part of a set. And I had him do stipple shading, which actually, I don't recommend this, but this particular artist had never done stipple shading work before. But as he was doing mine, he was like, wow, I kind of like this style, it's pretty cool. I think I'll probably incorporate this more into my work. And I love how they turned out. I think they're great. Halfway through, I was watching him tattoo my cat, and I was like, kind of looking at this cat, and it reminded me so much of my childhood cat. So I asked him to show me the picture he was using for reference, and he was using just an actual picture of a cat that someone had took. He had found it on Google maybe, and he was using this real picture of a cat as reference for my tattoo, and that cat looked so much like my childhood cat. I was like, what are the odds that the random cat you found a picture of looks so identical to my cat? And so it was accidental, but when I do look at this tattoo, I always think of my cat Flower. So that was just like a special cherry on top. The pain for this tattoo I would rate, or this set, it wasn't that bad, like a 6 out of 10. It definitely got worse the closer he got to my knee. There's a part of these tattoos that are right on the bone, but for the most part it's a kind of fleshier part of my leg. But there's definitely a line right down the middle of both of these tattoos where it was straight bone. I'll totally get more leg tattoos. The next tattoo I got was on the back of my arm, and it's this little doorway with stairs and a rain cloud with an eye in it. I think it's so cute. I actually think I might end up doing this whole sleeve like castle themed, fantasy kind of. But my friend, actually a peer from middle school, we went to different high schools, and they ended up going to tattoo school, and I reconnected with them as an adult when they were in their schooling. When you're going to tattoo school, you have to have so many hours of free tattooing, essentially, on volunteers before you can get your license. So they were doing that. I was like, my body is your canvas, I will let you do your thing on me. That's what they did. This one did hurt. They were using a pretty thick needle. They went pretty, I would say, like, and I think that they're just kind of a little heavy-handed. I'll rate the pain on this one a 7, but I think it's totally awesome. I'll link them. I'll put their app to their Instagram in the description. All of these artists, I'll do that. Like I said, this tattoo was free to me. I still tipped them because tipping artists for their work, like I'm here for artists getting paid for their work. service industry people getting paid and tips and all that. So, yeah, I love this tattoo. The next tattoo I got was just a month later. I was kind of feeling it. And so far, all of my tattoos had been symmetrical. One in the center of my chest and 2 on my shins. But then I got this one behind my arm, and I was itching to get one behind my other arm. So, another friend of mine who had just gotten their license moved into a shop. It was a big hype, and they posted a flash sheet of tattoo designs they had done. I absolutely fell in love with this one of an egg. He is cut in half, and he's an egg, and he's kind of solemn looking, but not too sad. It's not a negative tattoo in my opinion. Sometimes people see it and they're like, why do you have a sad avocado? And I'm like, do you mean my clinically depressed but also living a good life egg? I love this tattoo. It was about, I want to say this one was 80 and I tipped 20, but it might have been 100 and I tipped 20. Not exactly certain, but I love this one. I love the thin line work. The pain on this tattoo, I rate a 2. It like tickled. The needle they used was so thin, you couldn't barely even hear the buzzing. Whatever the machine was, it was a pleasant experience, if I do say so myself. The last tattoo I got, I actually went back to my friend who I had gotten the free tattoo. Once they got their license, I went back to them again and I said, hey, my sun sign is a Scorpio, so could you draw me up a scorpion? And I sent them a few pictures, and then I went to get it done. And I didn't really know what I had in mind, so we did the scorpion, and he was showing me the design. We were kind of laying it on my arm, and I was like trying to even out the design a little bit. And I was like, well, what if we add a sun in the tail, because it's my sun sign? So he went back into the bag, he drew a sun, he brought it back out. What do you think of this? I was like, oh my god, yes, I love it. We put it on, and we did all of the line work, and then they asked me, okay, so do you want color? And this was my first color tattoo. So I decided to go pretty simple. We just did red for the scorpion and yellow in the sun, and I freaking love it. I'll rate the pain on this one a 7, just because this area on your forearm is pretty sensitive, and the closer he got to my elbow crook, the closer he got here, basically the stinger portion of this tattoo hurt a lot. I was definitely holding my breath through that portion, but once again, totally worth it for me. I will update you guys when I get my next one, which hopefully will be very soon. I had planned this spring of 2020 to get a pretty large tattoo on my shoulder to kind of start a sleeve or to do both, to kind of get a pretty big piece done. And as we know, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, and 2020 was not what anyone expected. I'm still hoping to get that this year, and that would be amazing, and I'll keep you updated. If you're wondering why I look like this, I just filmed another video and I matched my makeup to my nails. However, I ended up deleting that video when I was trying to upload it to my computer, so I no longer have it, and you will not see that. I actually ended up refilming the video, and I think it turned out even better the second time, so I will link that in the description below if you want to watch that transformation. But if you're wondering why I look weird, that's why. Okay, thank you so much. This has been my video about tattoos. Thank you for watching. If you ever want to see my face again, or if you want to see me recreate this look, since I'm going to have to remake this video, go ahead and subscribe so you can see that when I post it. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. If you watched until this point, put a scorpion emoji in the comments. Okay. See you, bye!